June 26, 1956. Highway Revolution. Congress passed the Federal Aid Highway Act of 1956, which marked a turning point in United States infrastructure policy, establishing the foundation for the interstate highway system. Signed into law a few days later on June 29, 1956, by President Dwight D. Eisenhower, the act authorized $25 billion over 13 years for the construction of 41,000 miles of interstate highways. This was the largest public works project in American history at the time. The act's origins lay in both economic necessity and national defense concerns. Eisenhower's support was influenced in part by his experience with the 1919 transcontinental motor convoy and his observations of Germany's Autobahn network during World War II. The act created the national system of interstate and defense highways. It was designed to improve road safety, facilitate efficient movement of goods, reduce traffic congestion, and enable military mobility in case of emergency. The project was administered by the Bureau of Public Roads, a precursor to the Federal Highway Administration. The funding mechanism was also significant. The act introduced the Highway Trust Fund, financed through a federal gasoline tax, initially set at 3 cents per gallon. This user-based system ensured a stable source of revenue for long-term construction. The impact of the act was immediate and enduring. It standardized highway design across states, including specifications for lane width, speed limits, and access ramps. States were responsible for planning and construction within federal guidelines, leading to a uniform national network. The system enhanced interstate commerce by reducing travel time and lowering transportation costs. Trucking became more competitive with rail freight, altering the structure of the logistics industry. The highway system also stimulated economic development along its corridors, contributing to the growth of suburbs and new commercial zones. The strategic defense component of the act was explicit. In the context of Cold War tensions, a rapidly deployable highway network was viewed as essential for national security. The design included provisions for emergency airstrips and bypass routes around major cities. The interstate system was integrated into civil defense planning, providing evacuation routes in the event of nuclear attack. Despite its achievements, the implementation of the act also had negative consequences. Urban interstate construction often displaced minority communities and contributed to the decline of central cities. Elevated highways and large interchanges cut through residential neighborhoods, leading to social disruption. Critics also noted environmental impacts, including increased air pollution and loss of green space. Over time, these concerns informed later transportation policy reforms. By the 1990s, the interstate highway system was largely complete, having expanded beyond the initial 41,000 miles to over 46,000 miles. The system's influence extended beyond transportation. It shaped patterns of land use, encouraged automobile dependence, and altered regional economies. It became a symbol of post-war American modernity and engineering achievement. In legislative terms, the 1956 Act set a precedent for federal-state partnerships in infrastructure funding. It demonstrated the feasibility of long-term, tax-financed investment in national projects. Future legislation, including the Surface Transportation Assistance Act of 1982 and the Intermodal Surface Transportation Efficiency Act of 1991, built on this model. These acts expanded the scope of federal involvement to include public transit, environmental standards, and urban planning. President Eisenhower later referred to the interstate system as one of his greatest domestic achievements. Its influence remains visible in nearly every aspect of American life, from daily commuting to emergency response logistics. The Federal Aid Highway Act of 1956 did more than build roads. It reconfigured the physical and economic landscape of the nation. For enthusiasts of historical ephemera, visit history-collectors.com to find collectibles that might complement your collection. You can own a piece of history.